So, we're out of mental energy right now. 2 dialogues available. What's the dialogue over here? What? Oh. Has this got maximum occupancy already? It does, and there's still people wandering around outside. Oh no, a human living in housing that you provided. These humans live in your housing you provide, but they don't have food. They're searching for anything to eat in increasingly unlikely places. They aren't finding much. Oh. Oh, okay. I might need to go and chat with them then. Right. Okay. Well, I'm heading over that way anyway. What's happening down here? Let's have a quick look. Is that stealth being affected? No. Is that stealth being affected? A little bit. Not a great deal. Let me have a look at... Okay, so let me have a look at my buildings. Stealth is dropping actually quickly there. Yeah, all the stealth is dropping around here. That stealth is dropping a bit. Can I see why? I mean, they're relatively stealthy. Relatively stealthy is not necessarily stealthy enough. I was only 91% now. Now, it could be because... Oh. Is it because you're nearby? Maybe? Can't quite tell on that one. But there was a contemplation here. Solitary variant. I want to consider that, but for now, we're not going to. And instead, where are we? Where's that stupid vehicle of mine? I swear it was there a moment ago. Fine. There you go. Oh, no, it wasn't. I lied. Where is... Black market assistant. Oh, I'm in the wrong view, of course. See all those, okay. Contemplations. Yeah. But this is what we want to go and do. So, let's bring my ship over here. Donk. Now, I want my tech unit. We're going to pass. Okay. For all its supposed authority, SecForce is actually a fragmented piecemeal organization operated by the Fed Corps. The result is a patchwork of rules and software that don't always work well across Fed Corp boundaries. Military logistics are handled by Forcebeer themselves, and the low quality of SecForce IT is a frequent topic of inter-service rivalry. This organizational disarray provides an interesting opportunity for even moderately skilled hackers. Alter records to fake a rebellion. Oh, this is different from what I was expecting. Okay. Alter records and move some weapon shipments around, simulating the prelude to a rebellion. In reality, those weapons will be sitting in random warehouses. Expect to see an increase in visible SecForce foot patrols for at least 20 turns. If you do this too many times, it may get even worse. Route weapons to actual rebels. Altering okay. Alright. Let's move it to fake rebellion. Now, if we're super lucky, we might be able to go and yoink at those. That would be my hope. That would be my hope. Maybe not. A shame. A shame. Okay. Well. I was also going to have a chat with you. The human regards your android steadily. After a moment, they thank you for the clean, warm apartment. Apparently, the AGI researchers told them what you are. They seem reluctant to say. God damn it! My fans are leaking my deets! I'm being doxxed! Inquire why they rummage for food. You already know why. But you're curious what they'll say. They explain how they lost their job and home. They've been cut off from friends and extended family. The corporations use the homeless to set an example. Nobody will help them now. Even when they had a job, it was very low social value one. They often had food shortages. There's just not enough to go around for the lower classes, and the homeless are outright ignored. Well, then you'll think about it. Your mood is hard to interpret. Then you'll think about it. You're not sure how much of a commitment you want to make to random humans. Maybe if you could automate it. I'm assuming that will turn on this turn, but I don't know. Okay, rainwater and groundwater are contaminated. If you're going to provide food, you should provide safe water too. Oh my god, these humans is just one thing after another. We have nowhere to live. We've got nothing to eat. The drinking water is contaminated with lead. Rainwater and groundwater are contaminated. Groundwater is not potable. You'll need to investigate a water filtration plant to improve the groundwater. You're probably going to need filtered water for industrial applications anyway. Okay. My goodness. Next thing they're going to start complaining that people are being turned into Silent Green. Okay, what's the outcome? Provide some filtered water. Determination, compassion, and procurement of efficacy. Or Android optimization, 8 compassion, 16 determination. Okay, so... To make a deal providing water, you need to produce a certain amount of filtered water per turn. If your percentage seems stuck, build more water purification buildings. The resulting deal is with the lower classes at large, not just humans you shelter. For any you do house, you're just their landlord, not their liege lord. Then why am I even housing them? My god. Combat android bonuses will get +3 range. Reasons for the bonus. The people know you are holding back, but nonetheless, their engineers are willing to help enhance your motor skills. Or combat android bonus +2 attack range. Small weapons and targeting enhancements are traded from engineers among those you help. Where's apathy all of a sudden? I mean, I do want. Look, you know what? They're making a trade. This is reasonable. I want that attack range. I kind of want the movement range as well, if I'm perfectly honest. But being able to shoot from further is really useful. Worker predator, worker homunculus. All right, fair enough. All right. Build a well and cistern. Basic groundwater. Let's start by getting some groundwater, and then we'll worry about filtering it. Build this from the build menu like usual. Feel free to quickly end a bunch of turns to speed through this part. I will do no such thing. I've got to hollow out the building. That is a mid-rise office. Apartments. Office, co-working office space. Are there any, like, completely busted down buildings I could use? No, it doesn't look like I can. Alright. Then that one will do. Dunk. And dunk. I'll take a little bit to come on land. Well, political rally. There's the occult. The commune of the night. Cultists are, oddly, not banned by Vorsiber. In fact, many of their top leaders participate in cults of some variety. Granted, most of them are members in metaphysical cults, political cults, or cults of personality, but you find yourself drawn to the occult, purely out of morbid curiosity. Well, that's the right kind of curiosity, I guess. If you want, you could have a technician observe. You may need to alter its equipment for it to be intelligent enough to get much out of this, however. Okay, so what's the... Because you really emphasized that. Let me have a look at this one. Religions are officially banned, but in practice, they're still quietly observed. Religion? Ew. Stinky. Cults? Nice. Wow. But all right. I want weapons and armor, and I think there's only one really for that, and it's here. So given that, gonna heal everything, and I'm gonna spend a turn. And oh, there we go. Oh, it's 0, so there we go. Right. Ambush the captain. I would very much like the weapon. The armor. Captains accompany great officers, and intense backup is just a push of a button away. Even if we succeed in killing them, we'll have a challenging incident on our hands. Getting your hands on the armor they wear would be incredibly useful. Right, technician could stun them, though. Okay, I need to move you out of there, though. Yeah, 100%. You can take their armor while they're unconscious. Okay. This armor will be incredibly useful. Everything went well. No backup was alerted. Nice. Very nice. Alright, let's have a look at that equipment. So, Military appearance and blending in is given with this. Mill-style armor. Now, it does reduce agility. And movement range, actually. But health is increased by a lot. Full body armor that appears to be of military issue. Androids with this armor are able to blend in military bases, even if it is disguised. Enemy scans will detect an android that is marked defective. It's mildly protective, but it makes androids bulky and slow unless you improve it. Well, all the same, you're getting it. I'm okay with you being a bit slow, because I'm mostly just moving you around. Shut it down. I'm currently playing Heart of the Machine. It's, well, as I've mentioned before, it's kind of a, it feels like a 4X version of the, I'm not even sure how I describe Singularity Endgame. It's kind of, it almost feels like a bit of a I'm not sure if it is a Flash game, but it's, Singularity Endgame, you are suddenly a sapient AGI and trying not to get murdered by humans. And in this, kind of the same thing, really, in many ways. Yeah, these things being up there, I think, are hitting my stealth a bit, but overall it doesn't seem to be hurting. Oh, this one is really bad though. I think it's because you're just there. I might need to remove you, because that is really low. Most stuff seems to be okay generally. Alright. I am thinking about popping down some windmills here if I could. It doesn't look like I can, though. What do I need? I need more... What, wind engine robotics? Okay, that's going to be a bit of a problem. Alright, well... Oh, that one's finished now. Cost of deploying. I could deploy one. I suppose I could pop it here. Not sure if there's really any. We'll take you above cap. Proceed anyway. You can place this android, but once you do, you'll experience mental overload. None of your androids will function until, you know... Okay, so I'm going to need to wait until I can do that one then, I think. It's fine. So, cancel that. Oh. You have one or more upgrades available. You must pick them before ending the turn. Oh. Oh, this was the research. Small arms research. Inspiration. Use your neural network and past combat experience to invent improvements for android weaponry and armor. Collecting an array of weapons and armor types is vital. For challenging enemies, refitting can make all the difference. Okay. Reinforced security jacket. Reinforced mill-style armor. Improve mill-style armor defensive capabilities without altering appearance, or better mobility. Improve mill-style armor mobility without altering appearance. Handgun projectile, shotgun muzzle velocity. I think we're going to go for the mobility so that it doesn't have a negative. Yeah. So if we now look at that, yeah, the negative's gone away. Nice. In fact, yeah. Well, agility's still down though, but we can live with that. Right, so this, we're still working on that, but let's have a look at current list of things we can do. I could also have a look at the contemplations. Yeah, I would like to take care of that one, actually. So let's grab our vehicle, bring it over here. If you'd be so kind. And... oh god. Alright, when you said it was going to be red, I didn't quite mean, you know, bathed in the blood of virgins Carmilla red. That is a statement piece right there. This is a one-time sort of deal. Normally, you need to work with the Android variant you have, but you don't have many yet, and the combat unit is just so useful. If only you could have two separate loadouts for them, right? Well, let's do this thing. The red combat unit has a different icon and color, and it doesn't blend in unless it's in obscuring armor. It is bright red, after all, but otherwise it's identical to the main combat unit. The purpose of this split is so that you can configure each variant for different purposes and run both loadouts at once. New paint job. Alright. Do we have a different loadout now? We do. Glorious. Truly. I could... how ironic it would be if this is the one that gets the ambush... I'm tempted. I am tempted. No, we're going to give that one to you, and I think I'm going to have... oh, that one's still locking in, but I think I would like to give you the light shotgun. Either that, or I make you very fast. Oh, maybe. I'm tempted by that. Is there something in here that... information? Oh, that doesn't really tell me what I was looking for. I wanted to know what, like, a unit's agility does. But, oh well. Yeah, the red ones is faster. Yeah, exactly. Mill-style armor. It'll make them a little bit slower, but that is okay. And then... maybe they's also smarter. No, I think having loads of combat power on these guys is important. How come you don't get blending in? All right. Recharge and get back up there. Right, I want to have a look at my buildings. 67. Back up 100. 91. 100. Yeah, I think... Gang of Kimbo, Will of the People. Anti-air infantry is not really what we want to play with. Kind of want to remove some folks from over here, frankly. Repair coverage. Oh no, that's not what I want to look at. Right, how's this all coming together? Couple of turns left on those. This has finished, so we've got at least a bit of better scan going on there. How's this doing now? 67 still. Did they wipe out the other guy? They may have, actually. I think they might have. In fact, I'm fairly certain they have. I would like... Let's pop in a scanner down here. I'd like a little bit more vision radius at this side. I think that would be useful. Okay, well, where's the occult? Occult place is over there. I just want to have a quick look through, make sure that no one has been marked. Oh. Oh. The different cohorts specifically track different things. Now that is interesting to me. Is there any way that you can, like, go to ground? Is there a way that this can go to ground? I don't think so. Very interesting. Right. Let's go and check. Oh, I'm Fleet Kenny. Shut it down, prods. I typically don't really speak Welsh actively during stream, just because most people here wouldn't understand it. But if you're actually from Wales, you'll instantly recognize my accent, and also my dialect as South Wales. But I have been told by people who've learned Welsh as their second language, and especially those who don't live in Wales, that some of the words I use, they would have put me as a Gog rather than from the South. But personally, I think that's just their lack of familiarity. I don't have the same kind of timber to my voice while I'm speaking. Like, you know, GOGs, they tend to go up and down, you see. And I don't. Or at least I don't think I do. I probably do a little bit because that's just natural when you're speaking Welsh. But I don't do it to the same kind of degree that GOGs do. And the reason why I'm more than happy to you know, have a back and forth with you though. Just that I will tend to speak English, because then at least chat is, because I will answer in such a way that chat can infer what you said based on what I say in reply, rather than just feeling completely lost. But the reason I'm streaming at 2 in the morning is because what is sleep? I have very, very all over the place schedule. Also, what is schedule? But that's kind of always been my thing. I thought Aavak liked GOG. Surround the Soul, that's good old games. Oh, actually, no, it's not. They are literally branded GOG now. But for those who don't understand, GOG is short for Gogledd, North. And those who come from the north of Wales and those who come from the south of Wales, even if they're speaking English, will tend to speak with a pronounced accent. That I understand those from outside of Wales, it's just Welsh people sounding like Welsh people. But if you live in Wales, you instantly know if someone, even if they come from the north but have lived most of their life in the south, they still have that, a little bit of that in them. And when speaking Welsh is extremely clear whether because they're not just accents, they're dialects, very distinct dialects. But I would say if you know, depending, you know, again, if you moved around a lot, or there are certain, like, you know, boundary areas where the accent drifts a little bit more. If you're speaking English or whatever second or tertiary languages, you might be like, oh, you know, I can't quite tell. I can sort of roughly place you, but you know, I might not be as confident. But genuinely, even if the accent is there, if the dialect, like you can tell by the way they will say things, that as in the words they use, whether they come from the north or the south. It is really clear. Chaos Dragon. One does not speak Welsh so much as experience it. The same way one might experience a high-intensity roller coaster. That's just because almost everywhere else in the world speaks slow. But yeah, it is pretty common for people from outside of Wales to be like, wow, you speak really quickly. And it's like, yes. But to me, it sounds normal. To me, it sounds like you're speaking really slow. Right. Let me get my technician down here. Pump. Cults up. Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting. What? Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but that is more cult than I was expecting. I'll be honest. Right. Let's stay and listen. Your technician will need to stay for 8 turns to fully absorb what the humans are talking about. Wow, that's a big commitment. All right. Go ahead. We've lost our technician for a while. Big sad. Bum. I've decided to actively speak Welsh predominantly throughout the year, and the amount of Welsh speakers is actually high. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, to the point. I try to explain to some people, but there are less first language Welsh speakers in Wales than there are first language English speakers. And sometimes people will say, oh, it's a dead language, so on and so forth. No, it's really not. the fact that they are first language Welsh speakers, me as an example, and I come from the south where that is actually quite rare. But up north, especially amongst older generations, well, the reason why I could just basically walk into a job as easily as I did when I was just coming out of college was because everywhere needed someone on staff who was not just able to speak Welsh but fluent in Welsh. Because there were, if any company had a public-facing kind of like role, they had to have someone on staff who could speak Welsh fluently, because there were Welsh public citizens who couldn't speak English very well at all. It wasn't just that they were first language Welsh speakers; they had a grim grasp on English. So, you know, the call center work was very easy for me to get. Which parts of South Wales? Just outside Cardiff. Well, I say just outside Cardiff. That's actually quite a lot of places, considering, you know, Britain, and throw a stone and you'll hit about 3 different towns. Originally from Senghenydd. So, heads of the valleys. I work in Cardiff and Caerphilly. It's about it. Aha. I may have been to a few of the clubs that you work as a bouncer at, or the pubs. Though, to be honest, the pubs kind of change hands very frequently in Caerphilly. So yeah. But right. Anyway, what was I up to? Right, we've left our technician. Can I now control more people, or are they still on the docket? Yeah, they're still on the docket. Okay, well, that's fine. I do want to go and pick up one of you then, and have you in the ship with me. Womp. And let's find out something else we can do. Wiretapping. Need a technician for that one, and that one. I mean, these orphans are simply trying to get potable water for their group. I think we'll wait for that one. There is the upper class home, though. I'm kind of tempted. There are lots of snipers over there. What the heck? Anchor Nexus, okay. There we go. Don't have a lot of points left, sadly. But let's go ahead and take you in there. Oh, okay. The home isn't strictly open, but the security... Maybe they'll appreciate it. Maybe they'll be really confused. You're not sure what exactly makes you think this would be useful. So I could place consumer goods, fine goods, or furniture here. Or I can loot. Nobody's here to stop you. You're not sure you need any of this junk, but whatever. They literally set me up to be a Robin Hood AGI. My goodness. Oh, I don't know. Like, to be fair, I haven't been in Wales for a while now. I moved to Scotland to go to uni in Dundee. Before I started a YouTube channel. So unless you've been working as a bouncer in Caerphilly for quite some time, then that gets increasingly less likely. Been up here for a little bit over a decade now. Yeah, okay, so that isn't really... I don't see any particular reason to do that. But maybe hitting the syndicate storages... I mean, I could take whatever, but It doesn't feel like that would be as useful to me. I'm looking for stuff that actually would benefit my my group first and foremost. All right, how close are we over here? Two. I had to look around for a moment to find where that information would be. All right, I'm going to send down. Yeah, I may as well. Oh. Criminal syndicates stash both anonymous wealth chits. Okay, so I'd sneak past. I'd need a shadow dweller. Or expert shadow dweller. Okay. Never mind then. Okay, well, there's a lot more going on here than I first realized. My lord. Okay, well, I think I may have exhausted anything worth doing then. Yeah, I mean, there's the wiretap, I suppose, but I don't really want to do that. You're still hunting around down here, and that's kind of spooking me. I think what I might have to do is just go ahead and wipe you. Well, no, actually, you're really not revealing things. This one hasn't gotten any worse, so maybe not. Okay, instead of that, then, I'm going to grab this. I'm going to drop off my... sorry, the nickel bot down there. And I'm taking this back over here. And we're just going to pass a couple of turns. Because there's nothing else really jumping out at me. Unless I can do something with these. Can I? Oh, I can't. Okay, so. Oh, investigations. Need filtered water. Okay. The quickest way to get started is to right-click the investigate lens on your radial menu. This will select a valid investigator. You must have a technician. Oh, god damn it. And switch the current lens to the to investigations. Then press tab to go to the map view. You'll see some very large green circles. These are your options for places to investigate. They're all the same, except for potential danger around them. Choose one and move your technician to it. Maybe don't bring your favorite technician, if you care. And also, don't worry about bringing backup. ... Are you my favorite technician, Soul Droid? I think you kind of are, actually. I think you are, in fact, my favorite technician. So, with that in mind, there is a thing that I'm going to do. I have, in fact, decided that you, Nickel 887V, no, we won't delete you yet. I want you, however, to deploy one of these there. Now you can go. Right, project complete. Suspicious android implicate your tower. When your androids are blending in, they're anonymous amongst the many androids in the city, but a pattern has been noticed. Ever since the eruption of your tower, more androids have been acting suspiciously. If you get into a fight with military or security forces and you don't wipe them out, they're going to start targeting buildings around your tower. For some reason, your tower itself seems off limits at the moment, but any freaky metallic buildings around it are fair game. Oh. What marks you defective? An individual unit will be marked defective when it physically attacks members of the military, SecForce, or similar. Generally, anyone working for Volsbear or a federated corporation. Morale-based attacks will not cause this, nor will physically attacking citizens, criminals, religions, cults, or similar. Oh, that's why some of them didn't get marked. Demolishing very large buildings using explosives will get you marked effective, as will certain other very scalable entities. Scary abilities. Scalable entities? Scary abilities. With effective units in a crisis, it means that all military and SecForce units who are not on permanent guard duty will target that unit, but guards will continue to ignore it. On the other hand, it does mean that units' ability to blend in is gone. Noted. Noted. Alright. Now. Oh, we've got something new, apparently. PMC appearance. You notice there are quite a few private military contractors operating in and around the city. It seems that their troops get less security than official corporate troops. In general, the PMCs have lower firepower and lower numbers, so Force a Bit isn't concerned about an uprising from them. Contemplation type. Chapter 1, Core Root. Okay. Okay. Nevertheless, I want to go to this first. Okay, there are a couple of places around. Examine water purification. This is an invasive action that will attract enemies regardless of your unit's security clearance. Is that true of all of them? Yes, it is. Well, given that then, before I do that, let's bring my ship over full of fighting bots and have it hang out here. Okay. That's why you said, don't bring your favorite tech bot if you have one, and also don't worry about backup. I see. I see. Very well. Death and knowledge. Don't panic. This is how you probe an unknown dangerous situation. Send in one sacrificial unit and see what happens. In this particular case, if you examine the stats of the SecForce cruiser, you'll see that it has armor. None of your units can destroy it. Armor plating, 110. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Well spotted. Securing IP, here to prevent the leak of intellectual property. This grade of purified water is one of the highest luxury items in the city. The water supply is regularly threatened by rebel forces, so SecForce is always on hand to defend. Right. And this will lead to a burst of inspiration, where you can then go off and get more powerful, then come back for revenge. For now, end the current turn and let your poor technician meet its fate. These enemies will leave once the perceived threat is gone. I mean, at least you told us, I guess. At least you told us. Scoundrels. Don't you feel that was a little bit excessive, though? I mean, come on. Did you have to launch a massive barrage of missiles at them? My lord. Wow. Death. Now available. Small caliber armor piercing rounds. Now available. Hacker magic. Now available. Micro builder cloud. Okay. So. Failed attempts are how you probe. You won't be immediately successful in some combat situations. Many fights on the path to your goals will be too hard to complete on the first pass. Using street sense or contemplation, you can detect side activities, strengthen your forces by completing those, especially the contemplations. A first pass at a difficult encounter can also give you ideas on how to refit your forces to better tackle that specific scenario. Thank you. Yeah. And now, a side quest. The combat with the SecForce cruiser is unwinnable. Let's fix that. It has armor, so you need to develop armor piercing. You've had a stroke of inspiration. Follow the instructions in the steel prismatic tungsten project that has started. The general idea is to use street sense and a group of combat units to infiltrate a military base and steal things. If you haven't done any improvements to your unit loadouts yet, now is also the time to do that. See the handbook if you need further instruction. Very well. Okay, small caliber armor piercing rounds. The more of this you apply to a single unit, the better it will be at breaking through enemy armor plating. You will almost always want to apply a maximum stack of this effect to a single unit. Okay. Unit stack limit 3. The limit of how many copies of this effect you can apply to one single target. Prismatic tungsten, mental energy, elemental slurry. Applies effect. Temporary armor piercing. Effect intensity 40. So it would give me 120 then. The intensity of the status effect changes the yield of the results. Most status effects stack, so you can apply multiple consumables to get a more powerful result. Now available, Hacker Magic. Only useful when used by units that can absorb a lot of damage. Being in cover, therefore, also helps. Enemies are not stupid. They will avoid overkilling your units. However, the more powerful the service disruption, the more overkill they will do. If your unit has high health or a lot of damage mitigation, such as shields or being in cover, the distraction will be dramatically more effective. Use a load of micro builders and creativity. Ooh. Used by combat android. Stack limit 1. The limit applies the effect service disruption. Incursion attempts and denial of service attacks are launched en masse with a trace back to this unit. This is distracting and concerning to most enemy units. Many of them will turn their attention to this unit. One or more units running interference like this helps keep other units alive. Turn will last 5. Okay. And then micro build a cloud. Source of idea, follow-up idea. A short-lived cloud of micro-builders which dampen incoming attacks against an android. Used by Oxdroid or support vehicle. Stack limit 1. Intensity based off of strength. The higher the skill of the unit using the consumable, the greater the effect. Obscured by micro-builder cloud. Lowers incoming damage by the strength of the cloud as a percentage, up to 80%. Wow. That's kind of huge. That's super huge, actually. Okay. You need this resource to create armor-piercing shells. Slap your combat units into mill-style armor, make sure they aren't marked defective, and see what street sense picks up. This theft may alarm the base, so it's strongly advised that you do this far from your own structures. To pull this off, it's best to have 2 combat units working together, but it's not required. Alright. There's a lot of those, actually. We could probably head all the way out here, I think. Also, I would like... yeah, you. Oh. Oh, right, of course, yeah, I've only got 8 to spend. Fair enough. Well, in that case, I may as well get another tech. Alright, let's scoot you over here. And we want your peeps on the ground. No one should mind that you're there. may lose both of them if I do anything here, but I think we'll be okay. Okay. Steel prismatic tungsten. This building's cold storage freezers are labeled with hazmat symbols. A guard is posted outside the door, but this doesn't appear to be a particularly sensitive area. Methyl tungsten is extremely volatile and has a tendency to explode at room temperature, even in the absence of air. Its use is being studied by the military, but so far they haven't managed much with it. Convince them you're on official business, or overpower them and break down the door. Take advantage of the chaos. Oh. Okay. Incapacitate them and loot this low priority storage area. Meanwhile, the rest of the base will concentrate on active threat. Largest possible yield. So, if I were to have you engage something, that would probably trigger the alarm and you could get the most out of this. Let's see what they were talking about. Right, the whole building is now on high alert. Disable alarm. Alarms naturally last only 5 turns, but you may feel unable to weather the onslaught of enemies. If you have the wealth and also the spare strategic resources, you can bribe guards into turning off the alarm. Oh no, we're good. Take advantage of the chaos. 276 prismatic tungsten. Right, time for us to be on the way. Fare thee well. You brave me. Actually. Might die. Is there a chance I could get out of here? Nope. Now available. Take cover. Source world experience. No, it went away. Wait, bring that back. Cover reduces damage. Check out the tooltip to take cover in your ability bar, slot 4. It's important. Darting in and out of the range of enemies uses a lot of mental energy and exposes you to attacks of opportunity. There we are. This android will take cover in the current building and receive 50 to 70% less incoming damage until it moves. It can still fire from this position. Okay, good to know. Very good to know. They're going to be on high alert for a little bit. But that's fine. We're just going to move away. Well, that's what I would like to say if I had any mental resources left, which I don't. Very well. There's a lot of delicious gubbins over here, though. Right, let me set up resources here. Pop prismatic tungsten there. There we go. Oh. Wow, it's already been an hour. How on earth has that happened? Okay. We'll take the end of this turn. Alright, what I would like then is more combat bots. There's not much of a difference between the two. And, well, I mean, you are faster, I guess. Yeah. Let me just go into hardware. I would like to swap that for the light shotgun. More ambush potential. I think I like that. Alright. I would like a combat bot. Over here. Really? Will take me over cap? How? It survived! What a Chad. Okay. I take it back then. Okay, defeating the cruiser. Stack 3 times and then take it out. However, I will wait for our other friendo to be done. And then we'll make our move. Okay. I don't think there's anything else we want to do. Yeah, we got to wait to examine the water purification. All right. Well, I lied. I'll take 2 turns. 1 and 2. Right. Murdered android for registration. So you're gonna have to hop in there, and then we want 1 and 2. Pass the turn. Oh, cults prey on the fearful. Well, that was something. The vast gulf between world religions and occult groups is a lot more than just membership numbers. These people are freaks. That said, they're very good at what they do. Keep the donations coming in, keep the practitioners engaged, and overall keep the tantalizing mix of hope and fear. The end of the world is coming. It's always coming. It was supposed to end last month, last year, the year before that, 2 centuries ago, but somehow these people are convinced that the end is really a few months away, truly, for real this time. Good grief. The technician feels a bit gross about all of this. Now available, Horrify. Now available, Spooky Nonsense Generator. Okay, let's have a quick look at these and then I'm going on tea break. If a target is susceptible to fear-based attacks, attacking them in this mode will do more morale damage without physical harm. It will also leave the target in a horrified status for 1 turn, making them more susceptible to argument-based attacks. A portion of this unit's physical attack power will be converted into fear attack power. The higher this unit's intimidation, the better the conversion. The converted attack power will never be less than 10% and never more than 100%. It will reach 100% conversion at 200 intimidation, so 60 physical attack power and 100 intimidation would convert to 30 fear attack. Okay, noted. Spooky Nonsense Generator. Doesn't matter if it's nonsense, if they believe it. Where do I put this? The red ones are the scariest, Chad. Okay? Just accept it. Super scary. Super scary. Not smart, just scary. Very scary. Okay, well that was hilarious. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, why are the vice presidents outside our base? What the hell? I'd kind of like to go to the religious study now, if I'm honest, given everything else. What? Well, that's definitely an aesthetic. I'm pretty sure more people would go to their religious place of worship if the leaders of those congregations dressed more like that. Religions are officially banned. If you want, you could have a technician observe. You may need to alter his equipment. That we will definitely stay and listen. Yeah. Okay, but on that note, I'm gonna go and get myself a cup of tea. This is your chance to do the same. See you soon, chat.